Most people think matcha is just a trendy $7 cafe latte, the thing with the pretty green foam that costs more than your lunch. And if that is all you have ever done with it, I need you to stay right here, because my grandmother Yuki would have laughed at that idea. To her, matcha was never a drink you posted about. It was a tool. One tin of the culinary grade runs you about $15. It lasts for months, and it comes out to pennies a scoop. From that one cheap tin, Yuki ran an entire kitchen and half the house. The secret behind most of it is a compound called EGCG, a catechin that makes matcha one of the most powerful natural antioxidants on your shelf. And once you see what it does, you will never look at that green powder the same way. Today we are counting down 29 matcha tricks Yuki passed down, from the everyday to the ones that sound completely made up, especially number 6. Which sounds impossible until the first time you try it. Let us start the countdown. Number 29, the green rice bowl. Next time your rice tastes a little flat, this is your fix. Whisk half a teaspoon of matcha into a splash of warm water, then fold it through 2 cups of freshly cooked rice until it turns pale jade. Japanese home cooks have poured tea over rice for centuries, a dish so old it predates most of what we call comfort food. The reason it works comes down to 2 things at once. The chlorophyll that gives matcha its color tints the grains, and the amino acids bring a gentle, savory depth. The payoff is a simple bowl of rice that suddenly tastes like it came from somewhere. Number 28, tempura salt. If you love fried food but hate how heavy it feels, this changes everything. Mix 1 part matcha to 6 parts fine sea salt and keep it in a little dish to dip your tempura or fried chicken into. This was always on Yuki's table, a small green pile beside the plate. What is happening here is that the astringent catechins and the savory amino acids together cut through the perception of grease and lift the flavor of whatever you fried. You get all the crunch and none of the cloying, tongue-coating heaviness. Number 27, rancid-proof frying oil. If you have ever kept a bottle of oil too long and caught that stale, painty smell, this one is for you. Whisk a 1/4 teaspoon of matcha into 2 cups of oil or straight into your batter before frying. Here is why it works, and this is the heart of the whole video. EGCG is a chain-breaking antioxidant, which means it steps in and neutralizes the reactive molecules that make fats go rancid. Green tea catechins are used commercially for exactly this, to keep frying oils stable. The payoff is oil that lasts longer and food that tastes clean instead of old. Number 26, the less cloying cookie. When your baking comes out sweet to the point of being one note, reach for this. Add a rounded 1½ teaspoons of Culinary matcha to a standard batch of cookie or cake batter. This is an old habit in Japanese kitchens, where sweets are almost always balanced against something bitter. The reason is simple. The natural bitterness of the catechins and tannins pushes back against the sugar. So instead of a flat wall of sweet, you get contrast and depth. Suddenly, your dessert has a grown-up edge. Number 25, instant natural food dye. When you want color without a bottle of chemicals, this is the trick. Sift a 1/4 to ½ a teaspoon of matcha into icing, whipped cream, or pasta dough and mix until even. That vivid green is chlorophyll, and matcha is packed with it because the plants are grown in shade for weeks before harvest, which floods the leaves with pigment. What you get is a clean, plant-based green that holds its color, no artificial dye required. Number 24, emerald noodles. If you have ever seen those striking green soba noodles and wondered how, now you know. Work ½ a teaspoon of matcha into fresh soba dough, or just buy chasoba, the green tea noodle that comes from the Uji region. Again, it is the chlorophyll doing the coloring, with a faint vegetal flavor riding along underneath. Serve them cold with a dipping sauce, and you have a dish that looks like it took real skill, when really it took 1 spoon of powder. Number 23, the savory egg trick. Next time you scramble eggs or make miso soup, try this. Stir just 1/8 of a teaspoon of matcha into the eggs before they set, or into the soup at the end. Yuki's eggs always had that faint green thread running through them. The reason is the amino acids, especially L-theanine, which carry a rounded, savory quality that deepens whatever they touch and quietly amplifies the salt already in the dish. The payoff is breakfast that tastes richer than the sum of its parts. Number 22, matcha compound butter. If your butter tends to go off before you finish it, this solves 2 problems at once. Whip 1 teaspoon of matcha into a stick of softened butter, then wrap it and chill it. Home cooks have flavored butters this way for generations. What is happening is twofold. The amino acids give the butter a savory, herbaceous flavor, and the catechins act as an antioxidant that slows the fat from oxidizing, so it simply keeps longer. Spread it on warm bread and you will understand. Number 21, no more warmed over leftovers. You know that stale, off taste that reheated meat and fish get the next day? Here's how you stop it. Work 1 teaspoon of matcha per pound into cooked meat or fish, or brush a little matcha water over it before you store it. The reason is EGCG again. Studies on cooked meat, poultry, and fish patties found that tea catechins at around 300 milligrams per kilogram sharply slowed the lipid oxidation, responsible for that warmed over flavor. The payoff is leftovers that taste like you just made them. Number 20, the grilled chicken marinade. When plain grilled chicken bores you, reach for this. Whisk 1 teaspoon of matcha into a marinade of soy sauce and honey and let the chicken sit for an hour. The amino acids in the matcha act like a flavor amplifier here, pushing up the saltiness of the soy and the sweetness of the honey, while a slight bitter edge keeps it from turning one-dimensional. The result is juicy, savory, restaurant-style chicken from a marinade you built in 30 seconds. Number 19, popcorn and fries dust. Next time you make popcorn or fries, skip the plain salt. Use that same matcha salt, 1 part matcha to 6 parts salt, and sprinkle it on while everything is still hot and a little oily. The astringent and savory notes cling to the fat and cut the greasiness, the same way they do on tempura. What you get is a snack that tastes bright and seasoned instead of just salty. Number 18, the bitter cream balance. This is the secret behind every great matcha dessert. Whisk half a teaspoon into every cup of cream base, whether it is ice cream or sweetened mascarpone. The bitterness of the catechins and tannins offsets all that richness and sugar, which is exactly why earthy matcha and sweet cream are such a famous pairing. Without it, the dessert is just sweet and heavy. With it, every bite resets your palate for the next one. Now, those first dozen were all about the kitchen, but I need you to stay with me because we are about to walk out of the pantry and into places you would never expect matcha to work, all the way to number 6, the one that sounds impossible. The uses get stranger and better from here. Number 17, the Calm Alert morning cup. If coffee leaves you jittery and then crashed, this is the reason people switch. Whisk 1 teaspoon of matcha into 2 ounces of water heated to 175 degrees, moving the whisk in a quick W shape until it foams. This was Yuki's ritual every single morning without fail. Here is why it works. Matcha carries both caffeine and L-theanine, an amino acid that crosses into the brain and pairs with the caffeine to produce a state researchers describe as relaxed alertness. The payoff is steady, focused energy with none of the wired feeling. Number 16, steadier pre-workout energy. Before a workout, try this instead of a pre-workout powder. Drink 1 teaspoon of matcha whisked into water about 30 to 45 minutes ahead. Because the caffeine in matcha arrives alongside that same L-theanine, the energy comes on smoother and lasts longer than the sharp spike and crash of coffee. You get a lift, you can actually ride through the whole session. Number 15, the acne calming mask. If you struggle with breakouts, this is worth a try. Mix 1 teaspoon of matcha with 1 teaspoon of honey and enough water to make a paste, leave it on for 10 to 15 minutes, then rinse. please patch test on your inner arm first. The reason it helps is that the catechins have a real antibacterial action against the bacteria involved in acne, along with an anti-inflammatory effect that calms redness. The payoff is clearer, less angry-looking skin gently. Number 14, the Oil Control Toner. For shiny, oily skin, here is your fix. Brew a small amount of matcha, let it cool completely, and sweep it over your face on a cotton pad. This comes down to the tannins, which are naturally astringent, so they gently tighten the skin and reduce the look of large pores and excess shine. It is a mild plant-based version of the pricey toners doing the exact same job. Number 13, depuff tired eyes. When you wake up puffy, reach for this. Soak 2 cotton pads in cooled, strong matcha and rest them under your eyes for 5 minutes, keeping them well clear of the eye itself. What is happening is that the caffeine constricts the tiny blood vessels near the surface while the tannins tighten the skin, which together reduce puffiness and shadow. The payoff is a more awake face in the time it takes to brush your teeth. Number 12, the gentle antioxidant scrub. For dull, rough skin, try this once a week. Mix 1 teaspoon of matcha with 1 tablespoon of sugar and a little oil, then massage lightly and rinse. Here, the EGCG delivers its antioxidant action right onto the skin, while matcha's ultra-fine particles act as a soft, physical exfoliant to lift away dead cells. You are left with skin that feels smoother and looks a little brighter. Number 11, the fresh breath rinse. After a strong meal, this beats reaching for gum. Whisk half a teaspoon of matcha into a glass of water and swish it around your mouth. Rinse with plain water afterward, since heavy matcha use can lightly tint teeth over time. The reason it works is antibacterial. The catechins suppress the odor-causing bacteria in your mouth, and in 2014, trial a green tea catechin rinse held up comparably to antiseptic mouthwash for controlling plaque. The payoff is a genuinely fresher mouth, not just a minty cover-up. Number 10, the scalp and hair rinse. If your scalp gets oily or your hair holds odor, this is the trick. Brew matcha, cool it, and pour it over your scalp as a final rinse after shampooing. The catechins bring that same antibacterial action to the scalp, and the astringency helps cut buildup. Your hair comes out feeling cleaner and lighter without stripping it. Number 9, the shoe and foot odor freshener. This was Yuki's trick for the whole family's entryway, where everyone's shoes came off. Soak your feet in a basin of cooled matcha, or tuck a small dry sachet of matcha into each shoe overnight. It works on 2 fronts. The catechins are antibacterial against the bacteria that cause the smell, and they also react directly with the amine molecules that carry odor, breaking them down rather than covering them. The payoff is shoes you can actually stand next to. Number 8, the soothing after sun compress. When your skin is warm and pink from the sun, reach for this. Steep matcha, cool it fully, and lay a soaked cloth over the area, keeping it away from any broken skin. Here, the EGCG works as an antioxidant and anti-inflammatory, calming the redness and the heat. It is a quiet, gentle way to take the sting out of an afternoon that ran a little long outside. Now stay with me, because the last stretch is where matcha stops being an ingredient and starts being something you would never believe. Starting with number 5, the one that saves your kitchen after fish night. Number 7, the fridge and pantry deodorizer. If your refrigerator holds on to smells, do this. Leave an open dish of 1 to 2 tablespoons of matcha, or even use tea leaves on a shelf. This is not masking. Catechins actually react with the amine and ammonia molecules that cause odors, forming new odorless compounds, a reaction documented back in 2002. The payoff is a fridge that smells like nothing at all, which is exactly what you want. Number 6, fishy smell off your hands. This is the one that sounds impossible. After you handle fish, rub a little damp matcha or use tea leaves between your hands and rinse. Japanese cooks have used tea this way for generations. The catechins bind directly to the fishy amine molecules on your skin and neutralize them, which is why a green tea solution was able to strip the smell off a pan that had cooked sardines in patent testing. Your hands come out actually clean, not fish and soap. Number 5. Deodorize a smelly cutting board or pan. After cutting fish or onions, your board keeps the smell for days. Here is the fix. Make a paste of matcha and a little water, scrub it over the surface, let it sit a minute, then rinse. It is the same amine neutralizing reaction, and it is powerful enough that a green tea catechin solution cleared the odor from a sardine pan in lab testing. Your board comes back to neutral, ready for the next thing you make. Number 4, freshen a musty drawer, closet, or car. When a space smells stale and closed up, reach for this. Tuck a small sachet of dry matcha into the drawer, the closet, or the cup holder of your car. The catechins pull in and react with the airborne amine and ammonia odors, while the chlorophyll adds a little absorbency on top. What you get is a space that smells fresh without a chemical perfume fighting for the air. Now for the final 3. These are the ultimate staples, the ones Yuki reached for more than any other. If you remember nothing else from this entire video, remember these 3. Number 3, the whole kitchen freshness shield. This is the everyday version of everything we have covered. Keep a little matcha water on hand and brush it over cut apples and avocado. Whisk a pinch into your oils, wipe it over leftovers before they go in the fridge. It all comes back to EGCG, the antioxidant that scavenges the reactive molecules driving spoilage, browning, and rancidity across your whole kitchen. One tin quietly keeps your food fresher everywhere at once. Number 2, your new finishing dust. This is Yuki's flavor secret, and it is almost too simple. Keep matcha where you keep your salt, and add a final pinch over anything savory just before it hits the table. Avocado toast, a bowl of rice, roasted vegetables. The L-theanine and the umami amino acids act as an all-purpose savory upgrade, the way a finishing salt does, but greener and deeper. It was the last thing she added to a plate every time right before she handed it to you. And number 1, the daily bowl of calm, alert focus. This was Yuki's, the trick the whole channel comes back to. 1 teaspoon of matcha, 2 ounces of water at 175 degrees, whisked into foam and sipped slowly without rushing. Here is why it is number 1. That L-theanine and caffeine together give you the relaxed, focused energy nothing else quite matches. And every single bowl is also a full dose of those EGCG antioxidants working quietly in the background. It is the trick that is a ritual, the one she did every morning of her life. So the next time someone tells you matcha is just an overpriced latte, you will know better. One $15 tin seasons your food, saves your leftovers, calms your skin, clears the air, and starts your morning. And nearly all of it traces back to that one remarkable compound, EGCG, doing quiet work in the background. That is what Yuki understood, standing in her kitchen with a bamboo whisk, treating a little green powder like it could do anything. It turns out it very nearly can. If this was useful, share it with someone who has a lonely tin of matcha in the back of their cabinet. Tell me your favorite trick from the list down in the comments, and subscribe so you do not miss the next one from Yuki's Kitchen.